Selamat pagi, guys. Good morning from Europe, not in Indonesia anymore. So this time we're gonna discover a big European city. I'm in Vienna, the capital city of Austria. So today I have another big walk ahead of me, 65 kilometers around, and it's 5:45 in the morning. Sun is just about to rise. So let's get going and see what we're gonna find here in Austria. I'm starting my walk in Groß-Enzersdorf. It's a small town on the outskirts of just a little bit east of Vienna, and I chose to come to this place because I'm here with a car and it's difficult to leave a car somewhere in Vienna because of the parking zones. So I just had to leave Vienna and I'm gonna leave my car here for 2 days because I arrived last night at midnight from Germany and leaving my car here, and I'm gonna pick it up when I'm done walking. So that's why I'm here. It's a really beautiful small town community here, very quiet because yeah, I'm out here so early, nobody around. So I just keep walking south, kind of to enter Vienna at the Danube. So it's just a peaceful walk here in the morning. Here, for my Indonesian subscribers, I want to show you something. This is a field of potatoes. As far as you can see here, when I'm walking in Indonesia, you would be having rice fields everywhere. And this is quite a huge field of potatoes. It is very huge. This is how it looks like, just freshly planted. And after the potatoes are ready to harvest, I'm pretty sure you would have whatever, like 1,000 tons of potatoes just from this one field. That's highly modern farming here in Europe. Hardly any handwork. It's all done with big machines and tractors. This is so unbelievably beautiful out here, guys. This here on the left side, stretching from here is Vienna somewhere, and all this land down to Slovakia for, I don't know, 50 kilometers. It's all a national park and protected. It's like a green, lush jungle forest like in Indonesia, so thick. So many animals living here, and birds, and there's nothing than just nature. The wind and the leaves and the birds. Nobody else. No bicycles, no people. There's farmland and villages and towns up there, but here, and especially now in the morning when you start walking at 6, nobody. It's so beautiful. It's a long stretch for me to come to the Danube down there where I want to come, but this is what it's about when you start walking very early somewhere from the outskirts of the city, and you get to see some really nice things. And it's so peaceful because you're gonna see later Vienna in the city center. It's the 10th biggest city in Europe, so it's gonna be very busy, but here I'm just by myself. This is a very interesting place here. I just walked into the forest now, and there's a cross here for a guy, Lawrence Riedel. He passed away on the 30th of December 1898, and he was only 16 years old while they were cutting trees here. So you have to think about this. This is like 126 years, and it's still standing here. For a guy working in the forest and dying here while cutting trees. That's some history. I mean, it's just a guy, but it's amazing that this still is here in the forest so much later here in the national park. Amazing. Still nobody around, just by myself. And I'm entering Vienna, like coming out of this place. From here on, I'm walking into Vienna, onto the Danube, and there's a sign for the national park here from the city of Vienna. It's interesting about like some birds, animals, fishes, and it's actually quite huge, and it's really beautiful and quiet. There's more than 1 million people every year come to visit this part of Vienna. It's kind of like a district, and walking, bicycling is, as I see, not really allowed. There's maybe some places, but therefore it's very nice, so you can come enjoy your time, walk around here on a nice summer day. It's beautiful, beautiful. And this here along the road looks like some fresh digging from a wild boar, like wild pigs around here. Hopefully they're gone now that it's already daylight, and I'm not gonna find them up. They're somewhere on the road. Only the planes this morning are disturbing my peace while walking here. The landing strip is kind of in this direction, so they're kind of taking off in every 2 minutes. There's a plane now taking off. It's just 7:30 in the morning, quite busy, but otherwise just paradise here. I'm coming closer to the Danube, and yet another plane just taking off here. Austrian Airlines again. And there's a old kind of a side arm of the Danube. Servus, which means bye or hello in German, Austrian. And there's a platform here, viewing platform, so let's check out the view from here. Let's check out the view. A long time ago, the Danube, like many rivers, they would be meandering, like kind of doing curves here to the left and kind of like this as curves. For the modern sake of cargo ships, and it's kind of just straight. We're gonna be there soon, but this is how it used to look like long time ago in Europe, like rivers like this. And no people around, just forest and maybe some villages kind of further away from the river where it's not flooding. This is the dam along the Danube, so it's for the flood protection. You can see how tall it is here and down here. And this is a border stone marking here the easternmost point, entering Vienna from here along the Danube upstream. We're gonna go up there, down to the Danube now. See you down at the river. I actually entered from the dam down here, but it said it's a private road, no entering. I don't know why there should be a private road going down here to the Danube, but it looks like there are some hunting huts around here. I hope nobody's hunting around here. There's a tree just broke here, seems fresh. Anyways, now that I'm here, I want to go down, check out the Danube just across here. And there's all these hunting huts there. So let's see. Hopefully nobody's around like the rest of the place today where I was working here through the national park. Nobody around yet. Grass a little bit too tall and wet in the morning. My shoes are gonna be completely wet. But here, let's just head out to the river. I made it to the Danube. Here, that's it. It's quite fast flowing. Now we gotta be a little bit careful here. It's all wet and muddy from all the rain, I think, these days. This is the mighty Danube, one of the biggest rivers in Europe. Danube, the Rhine, the Volga. Look at this beauty. But so fast. It's time for a little break here at the Danube. I gotta eat something. I got up at 4:30 and it's 8:30 now. Just had one coffee and now I'm hungry. And because I have to go walk upstream for another 10 kilometers at least, I think, to get to the real city. So I got some bread with me, a little bit cheese, some ham, and it's gonna be my breakfast here along the Danube. And while I'm here, I'm looking at my shoes. I'll show you something here from Indonesia. My shoes, when you're walking in Indonesia along the road and the sidewalks, and rebar sticking out, and all kinds of stuff on the road, ripped up all my shoes. But I love them so much for walking, and because I'm gonna be walking 50 kilometers, I hope today, I don't want to miss out wearing these shoes. So back to my breakfast. Not only the planes are disturbing my peace, there's a cargo ship coming up in the stream. Must be using a lot of gas to fight against the current here. Going upstream, probably to Vienna, unload some cargo. I found the first house in Vienna. I don't know what these are. It's literally just, I came from here to the Danube, and there's some huts here along the water here. I have no clue if it's for staying overnight, camping. I don't know. What is it? Anybody an idea? Maybe it's for fishing. Maybe some fishermen with some boats. They can put it down into the water. Kind of like it looks like. Small ramp. Slide a boat into the water. Here, bring it out again with a cable. And here you can stay overnight. Looks good. Wow, what a beautiful sight. Look at this massive tree. This little road coming up here, the little hut. And the Danube. Just beautiful. Quite wide, huh? That's a real river. And look at this massive tree here, which used to stand here along the Danube. Crazy. Ah! Look at this here. Cut down. Huge. Like this one there, probably. Or the one behind me. Okay, I figured it out. I thought this is for a boat ramp, but they have fishing nets here, and they can put them down in the water, get some fish out with these cables. And guys, you know what? I have seen this somewhere before. You remember? Along the Citarum River or in Semarang? Two faraway countries, same system. This place is so cool, that's unbelievable. I think so far I counted at least 10 of these huts. It's so crazy. Like, they have bicycles, they have stuff to work here with. Up there, firewood, probably fully equipped with a bed inside. You can heat it when it's cold, sleep in there. A barbecue down here, tables, their fishing net. It's with a nice view. Amazing. Let's check out. Somebody here. Knock, knock, knock. Huh? No, nobody around here. So far, like in the whole national park, nobody around this morning. But it's a cool saying here. The most important thing when you're fishing is to have long arms, because then you can show people how big the fish was. Because fishermen tend to exaggerate a little bit, always make the fish tell some stories about how big the fish were at the last catch. I don't know, is it like this everywhere in the world? But this one I like, it's cute. Shows you again that when you come to a city and walking, discovering on this way, you find out about places, about things which you would never see otherwise if you take a taxi, take a bus, subway. I mean, Vienna is a huge city, it's a world city, and you could just take the subway, but obviously the subway will not come to this kind of place. So, see, sometimes it's just nice to go for a walk, even if it means you get up at 3 in the morning, 4. But I would not want to miss out this chance to see this. I will always remember this. And then I never knew about it. I have seen many mushrooms in my life because I worked in the forest. I still work with trees, but this one here, so amazing. Look at this bright color. Look at the size. So yellow, so big. Amazing. A yellow big mushroom here in the greenery along the Danube. This here is a national park, but still crazy for me. They have a gas pipeline going over the Danube here onto this side where the national park is, and then just up there there's a oil terminal again with some pipelines over the Danube. Maybe we're gonna see it later. And just like I said, I have not seen anybody around here, nobody this morning, but just now I met a guy. He was walking here and I asked him about these places, if it's like some professional fisherman making a living fishing here, or just like free time, like leisure thing to come here and fish. And he says there's actually some troubles with the city of Vienna because they consider these fishing huts now just for leisure, and they actually want to tear them down, all of them, he said. And there's like some big lawsuits now, and they want to demolish them all, and the people still want to keep them. So maybe because they are in the national park, I don't know. But so interesting story. And the guy, he told me, you know that you're trespassing, because he's 2, and he says you're gonna be careful. If the ranger see you, you're gonna get trouble from the ranger, because he comes sometimes to walk through here because it's so peaceful and quiet. But then the ranger doesn't want anybody coming in here. So I don't know who all this here belongs to. It says it's private, but yeah, just interesting that it's in a national park along the Danube, and then it's private, and then like who owns these little huts. So interesting thing. But today is a public holiday, so I don't think there's gonna be anybody around, and I'm leaving anyways. That could be the ranger now, just driving by in his jeep. So maybe I was wrong. I said because it's a public holiday there would be nobody around, and I just got out of the forest, crossed back onto the main road here, and he just drove by. So first I thought maybe he's trying to get me. He's gonna stop me now because he saw me somewhere with his binoculars or something. But I don't know, I guess no, just driving around. Walking along the dam here on the Danube, and then you have the breeze coming in, and the wind is quite strong now, and from one side you can smell the nature, the forest, everything, and then from the other side you get the breeze from the oil, because this year, like I told you before, this is the oil terminal here. Up above there's like hundreds of tanks here for Vienna, and there's a big oil refinery here next to the airport. It's kind of interesting. I mean, the refinery is on the other side of the Danube at the airport. This year is the national park, and the one thing I don't understand then why they bring pipelines over the Danube here to where like the protected nature is, but I guess you use the space which you have in the city. It's very interesting that this Danube actually bicycle way, because nobody is walking this long distances like me. Actually, it's only bicycles going through here. It's going straight through the oil terminal here. It's a long stretch of oil tanks left and right, and just me walking. But it's interesting walking through the national park and then through the oil terminal. We are at the new Danube. This is kind of a canal along the Danube. I don't know if they use it for any boats because it's there's a floating bridge here, so I don't know. But anyways, let's cross the bridge here. See how it. So the floating bridge, I guess, works that way when it's when the river, when the water level rises, then the bridge can just float up. So you see this level, and then you walk down here for a couple meters, but if the water comes up, then the bridge just floats up. It's kind of cool. And up there is where the big highway bridge is. There kind of is the city center. So we are going right there. I think I'm about 20 kilometers into the walk today. Now I'm getting far upstream to Vienna along the Danube now, and there's this road along the river. This used to be, I was just looking what it's called here, Treppelweg, and it means that there used to be horses kind of walking along here and pulling the ships upstream. So the ships would be just kind of going close to the shore, and the horses would pull them up, or maybe it used to be then, I don't know, some kind of trucks later on, because the stream would be, like you could see it this morning, would be quite strong, so it would be easy for the ships to go down the river but not up the river. So as you can see, it's really close, the road to the river. And just now I met some guys there. We saw some fisher huts with these fishing nets, and here it's boats. They're fixed here, and they have a permit from the city of Vienna. They can fish here. I was just talking to the guys about the fisher huts there, about them and if they're gonna be demolished or something, and they said no, not quite, not sure. But this is quite a cultural heritage here in Vienna, and I didn't really expect it because I know it from Indonesia, but didn't really expect it here. And here they're everywhere, same like with the huts, every whatever 20 meters, 50 meters, there's one here, one there, and these guys were just kind of having coffee and just getting ready to get some fish. So kind of interesting talking to the guys. And another thing, I think there's a Buddhist monastery just across the river here. It's kind of interesting, in middle of Vienna, a Buddhist monastery. A lot of surprises for me today here. This is a nice site, nice boat, little boat called Monica, the fishing net, nice Austrian flag on top, and then the Buddhist temple in the background. It's been 25 kilometers since I started this morning at 6, and now it's 1:20. And I would say it's enough of walking on the green side of Vienna. Now it's time to get up this highway bridge and cross into the city. Let's go. Here we go. Crossing the Danube. This is exactly where I drove over this morning when I was leaving at 4:45 in the morning, passing over this bridge this direction,